The Big Six. It is. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Sports Spotlight. I'm your host, Rizwan. Welcome to Radio Azad, where your voice matters. And as always, Sunday mornings, 10 a.m., we get rolling. And today, after a while, our first segment is going to be with the spotlight shining brightly, brightly on the cricket oval. And to discuss that with me right here on the airwaves of Radio Azad, I've got my good friend and a wonderful cricket mind, Rahul Vats. Rahul, welcome, man. How's it going?
It's all going good, Rizwan. Good morning to all our listeners and all over the world, wherever, which world time zone they are in. Greetings.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, let's get right into it because there's quite a bit to discuss.
Let's
um
get into it.
let's start with something that was on your mind. We were discussing this earlier and you mentioned, so let's talk about today. Something historic is going to take place, which is, go ahead and tell
The
our audience.
5,000 ODI played over last 50 years.
Wow, 5,000th ODI match. That's significant. I mean, that's huge. So look, you and I don't remember this. You and I might be a little younger, but uh, there are still cricket fans out there who remember when the ODI format was debuted, started, and there might have been a little apprehension initially because change is always hard, right? Change is always difficult. It's human nature to be comfortable in what we know and kind of be apprehensive about change. But it quickly, the ODI format quickly took hold and became the format that cricket fans were excited about to follow, because largely because you could kind of focus on it in one day and finish out the match, right? That was the
Mhm.
popularity. Where does it stand today with the advent of the T20I over the past couple of decades?
I mean, it's obvious that ODI has not been the most, loved format since T20I came into being. With everything that makes sense, with the finance, with the other numbers, focus has been on T20I and it's gaining popularity. That's what bringing the other countries that have never played cricket into cricket, countries like USA, other European countries. So I would say the rating has been T20I, Test, and ODI, and that is going to be the trend in the future. But it's not a format that's going to go away or die because in all of the formats, T20 World Cup good, but nothing adds value to having won a ODI World Cup, and the amount of praise that's there when ODI World Cup happens is insane. So I would say yes, popularity wise, it's probably the least popular format right now, but from a standpoint of the balance between cricket, it's right there.
All right. I actually, and maybe 20 years from now, we can be sitting here having this conversation and see who was more right. I'm sure, as is true of everything in life, neither one of us is going to be 100% right. But I tend to think that not just the T20I format, but really the advent of, and I know it's in its infant stages, right? Just the last few years, but the 10 over format starting to come into play a little bit. And I know, as I said, it's not very popular right now. T20I is king. ODIs are still followed, but I think in 20 years we're going to be having a different conversation about the ODI. I think Test is going to stay because it's the original format and the cricket purists absolutely love it. And it's a whole different sport almost, the test match versus a short format match, right? The way you play, the way you bowl, the way you bat, the way you strategize is completely different. So I think that original format is going to stay. I think T20I is going to continue to gain more and more popularity, and eventually we might be looking at a future where the ODI is a forgotten format. Even if it is around, it's somewhat irrelevant in the eyes of the T20, and then maybe shorter formats where you could have those 2 hour matches, 10 overs each side, and be done with it. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll have that conversation 20 years from now. How about that? Is that a deal?
That's a deal.
All right. So, a couple of things. I think something else big while we're shining the spotlight on the cricket world. A historic match is going to take place um, at the Lords, right? The women's English and the Indian women's cricket teams are going to commence a test match at the Lords, and that's going to be the first women's test taking place at that historic location. Any thoughts on Team India and what that means, the moment as well as the actual match itself?
I think it's going to be a really great, occasion because the fact that no women's team have ever played at Lords, the home of the cricket, is 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 something really big. Um, I think that match already took place though because the first player to be on the honors board of Lords were Yastika Bhatia and either Dipti or Sharma or Richa Ghosh for the fiver. So that match was amazing, and India did really awesome to win that match.
Yep. Pretty impressive stuff. All right, speaking of impressive stuff, we're going to be kind of going rapid fire because there's a lot happening in the world of cricket, and we're already looking at 17 minutes left in this segment. Hey, did you hear? Afghanistan is not a Cinderella story anymore. Afghanistan has qualified directly for the 2027, speaking of the ODI format, the ODI World Cup 2027. Afghanistan has directly qualified. Um, your thoughts on that, what it means for cricket in Afghanistan, and the rest of the established cricket world.
I mean, so Afghanistan have always been a force to reckon with in the shorter formats. They they have played some really amazing and memorable games, and some where they were on the shocking side of things, especially the World Cup match between Australia and Afghanistan in 2023 World Cup. So to Afghanistan, their cricket popularity is growing, their cricket infrastructure is growing. They are playing a lot of red ball cricket. They are playing a lot of bigger formats in terms of the limited overs cricket, the 50 over match, the ODI cricket,
Hmm.
and they are they are just justifying the amount of investment they are making into cricket by qualifying directly for 2027 World Cup. It's the phase in Afghanistan cricket like it was for India in 1990s and Pakistan in 1990s.
Yep. Um, Sorry, I was dealing with some equipment here. Yeah, so I think we can no longer, it will no longer suffice to just refer to Afghanistan as a dangerous associate nation, right? I think at this point, because of everything that you highlighted and the fact that they have directly qualified, I think at this point they're just part of the established major cricket nation group, and they're gonna have to be. I don't know if they're gonna necessarily force some of the teams that are at the bottom end out of it. I mean, it ain't gonna be West Indies. It can't be Pakistan. But the state of cricket where Sri Lanka and Bangladesh might be, is there any danger of Afghanistan kind of pushing them out, or are they just going to be an addition to the established cricket nation and automatic qualifiers? Like, what do you think? Is there any danger of any of those nations that are kind of low on the standings of falling out?
So, I mean, looking at the trends right now, I agree with you. Afghanistan is amongst top three teams in Asia, if not at least in top four. India and Pakistan being the top two, and Sri Lanka and Afghanistan being a close third. Bangladesh is also on the rise, so with the new bowlers coming in, with the increasing fast-paced bowler stock that they have, and the ability that they are bringing into their cricket through their fast bowling, which serves them well on conditions like South Africa and Australia. So I think there are a lot of good things happening in countries in Asia right now, but you do provide the factually correct statement in terms of determining who are the top three in Asia right now. It's India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and then others. And I do think that in near future, if they continue on their upward trajectory, they would push out other teams for a spot to the top one. If they cannot displace India, at least they would be on par to compete with India if they put in the right effort.
Yep. All right. So now let's talk about the overall 2027 World Cup. So 9 teams have already qualified. Obviously the hosts, South Africa and Zimbabwe, and that obviously added to the overall qualifiers because Zimbabwe did not have to go through, as being one of the hosts, they didn't have to go through the qualification process. And then we've got, um, so it's not 9, it's 10, right? It's South Africa and Zimbabwe are in, and then the top 8 teams, excluding the hosts, Afghanistan, Australia, Bangladesh, England, India, New Zealand, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, they're all in.
Mhm.
So at this
10 teams,
point,
10 teams are locked in.
yeah, yeah, I was thinking 9, but it's actually 10, and that's going to be that only leaves 4 spots, right?
That's coming through the World Cup League cricket too.
Ooh, it's going to be a dogfight, man. So with Scotland, what it's done recently, Ireland, of course, and West Indies, and how the mighty have fallen, right? We're talking about the West Indies having to slog their way through the qualifying process to actually uh, get qualified to compete in a ODI World Cup. But yes, I think Ireland and West Indies should be up there, and then it's going to be a dogfight: Netherlands, Nepal, Oman, Scotland, Canada, maybe. I mean, look, ideally, I would love for the United States to qualify, but and obviously they qualified for the last World Cup, but they're pretty low on the rankings right now. Let's see how they do in the qualifying tournament. What are your thoughts on the United States and their ability to rise from this group and get qualified, get a spot in the World Cup?
I mean, uh, uh, America, US does have a chance. It's not like they cannot qualify. and they have done it in the past. They have beaten teams, which are much higher ranked than them, and caused upsets in various World Cups, in T20 World Cups, even in ODI, if I remember correctly. So they do have potential. They do have talent. They have some good players. They have players like Aaron Giles, Andrew Goss, Saurabh Netravalkar, Corey Anderson, and a few more who Harpreet Brar, who are really veterans of cricket. They have played their game around a lot of other countries, played red ball cricket, played the longer format in the limited over cricket. So they do have experience, and if they put their experience to good use and their talent, I I do see that one of the four teams in the 2027 World Cup could be USA. But going as of now, I think West Indies and Ireland are definitely going to be in, and then I'm going to give a lot more, support to Scotland and Netherlands qualifying than other teams because of the amount of cricket that they play.
Yep. It's going to be interesting times. When does the World Cup qualifying take place?
I believe it's scheduled for end of this year and early next year.
So December, January. All right,
Mhm.
we'll talk more about that as the NFL season is getting getting to an end. Then around December time. Next thing I did want to talk about, and let's see if we're going to be able to. It truly is rapid fire today. So let's swivel the spotlight over to Pakistan cricket a little bit. First off, after the disappointment of the first test match against West Indies, where they just. So let's talk about both of them. The first one was disappointing. West Indies won by 90 runs after scoring 311. Pakistan came back with 282 and then limited West Indies in their second inning to 181, only to just absolutely fall apart with that target of 204 or 207 or whatever it was, a pretty gettable target. And Pakistan just absolutely, absolutely fell apart. Could not do anything. 211 was the target and could not do anything. And once again, it was the same old story that Pakistan has had for a number of years now across the formats. It was Babar Azam or bust, right? The openers, Imam ul Haq, Azan West, facing a target of 211, are gone in the first like 5 overs. I think both the openers were gone. Babar Azam came in at his customary spot, one down, and hung out until the end. Everyone else lost their wickets. Salman Agha for a duck after facing 6 deliveries. Muhammad Rizwan, 28 deliveries, scoring only 11 before being bowled out. And then just on and on. Amr Jamal for a duck after 12 deliveries faced. Ali Usman, 2 off of 11. Shan Masood, 3 off of 15. Khurram Shahzad, 4 off of 9. Muhammad Ali, not gonna blame the last two. These are bowlers. Muhammad Ali, a duck off of 3 deliveries, and then if it weren't for Muhammad Abbas hitting 4 fours and facing 33 deliveries and scoring 23 off of them, this would have been even worse. But as it is, Babar can't do it by himself, and West Indies won by 90 runs here. What did you see in that first test? Am I just off in my rant that here we are, it feels like it's 2016 and 2017 all over again. It's Babar Azam or bust. Like Pakistan can't do anything. What happened here?
I mean, see, that's true, right? But more than that, the practice that Pakistan team have had. I mean, think about it. They were coming out of PSL and then went straight into a test series. There was no time
No
given to these
transition.
players to practice, to get into that zone where they are ready for Test cricket. Now, obviously, these are professionals, so an excuse cannot be made that they were not ready. They should always be ready. But I just feel that they have to really do the hard yards in order to succeed. And that can only be seen with, Babar Azam, Imam ul Haq, Sean Masood, because if you look at them in first inning, Imam ul Haq scored 63, Sean Masood made a century, and Babar Azam did not do anything in that innings, but they were good with the contribution throughout the order to post at least somewhat of a respectable
Hmm.
total when facing a first inning target of 311. Now, the problem did happen because in the first innings, they ran across Justin Greaves, who was really unplayable, was not giving any runs. If you look at his figure, he bowled six maidens, and all the wickets that he took were wicket maiden overs. So that shows something about the skills of the bowler that they were facing. They were obviously facing Kemar Roach, Jaden Seals, Shamar Joseph, Justin Greaves, the best crop of fast bowlers that West Indies had since Curtly Ambrose and Courtney Walsh. So I wouldn't say that it was all the fault of Pakistan. It's Babar or Pakistan bursting. But you do make a point. It did happen. But again, remember they ran into Shamar Joseph next, Jaden Seals next, who has been incredible for West Indies for a very, very long time. He, caused a lot of trouble to Australians who are good at playing, fast bowling. Then, we are talking about Pakistan, who have gone down and they have not played that much fast bowling in recent times, and that shows in the way they are preparing spinning tracks to win in Pakistan. No, no offense. I mean, that's a good thing. You
Yeah.
have to play to your strength, but the practice has not been there.
All right.
So
Well, I apologize for cutting you off, but
no, no,
we
no.
got we got a rapid. I've got a couple of things to get to in the next 3 minutes before our break. So, I think the practice that they needed, they did get in that first test, because the second test was a somewhat different story. I say a somewhat because right off the bat, they once again gave up quite a bit, 300 plus to West Indies. The bowling that should have been, I don't know, should have been better, was not better. And as it is, they gave up 344, and almost everybody ate for West Indies there. In 105 overs, they gave up 344. But Sajid Khan did take 4 wickets with 4 maidens, and Ali Usman, 35 overs, 9 maidens, an economy of 2.28, even though he only took 2 wickets, looked pretty good. And then came Pakistan's batting, and Pakistan's batting actually um, did well, especially the top order. Azan West, the opener, 55. Imam al Haq, only 14 off of 17. Didn't matter because Abdullah Shafiq got himself 160 off of 323 deliveries faced, not out by the time the innings ended. Babar Azam, another 88 off of 147, and then a few other uh, decent scores, got Pakistan to 387 after 115 overs. So they went in with a lead, and then the bowling just absolutely cleaned up, holding West Indies to 117 in that second inning. And again, Ali Usman and Sajid Khan, man, I mean, can't say enough about these two. I know you like bowling. What did you see out of Ali Usman and Sajid Khan from Pakistan?
They were bowling really well. I mean, talking about Sajid Khan, this was a spin bowling pitch, and he made really good use of it. He took everything that was given to him by the pitch, and just keep on plugging in at a really good length. I saw some of this footage, and he was all like nearly unplayable.
Yeah. I
Ali
mean, he
Usman being a slow left armer, again, spin bowler, took great wickets. Same was seen on the other side. West Indies, Jomel Warrikan, 6-4. It was a spin bowling pitch, and as
yeah.
I said, Pakistan would do well if they get in conditions to play in.
I don't know what that means. Look, we're going to have to talk about it next week. I don't know what that means for the upcoming tour of England because those are going to be English conditions. We'll talk about that next week as we come back. I got to take a break. Rahul, wonderful conversation. As much as I tried to rapid fire this, we still have a few topics that got left off. Maybe next week we'll do a longer than 30-minute segment on the spotlight, on the sports spotlight, as we shine the spotlight on various aspects of the sports world. But Rahul, always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us, and we'll talk next Sunday.
Thank you. We'll talk.
All right. That was Rahul. And here we go. We're taking a break. Going to come right back. Manny's going to be joining, and we're going to be discussing other aspects of the sports world, maybe starting with a little basketball and the king, James. You're listening to the Sports Spotlight right here with your host, Rizwan. Be right back.
This is Radio Azad, streaming in Dallas, Fort Worth,